So today I'm here to show you what we will be taking on our camping trip. Me and some of the guys that are my friends, we're going on a camping trip to Pennsylvania, to the Allegheny National Forest, and we are going to make sure that we eat enough food to make us nice, fat, and happy. So here's all the food that we will be bringing, and when you're going on a camping trip, or any trip, you gotta think about food. You can't just run off there and not think about it, because you'll get out there and you will be very hungry and you're like, man, I wish I would have thought ahead. So it takes a lot of preparation and a little bit of money, but you'll be happy once you get out there and have good food to eat. So we are going to be having 2 breakfasts, 3 lunches, and 2 dinners. 2 of our breakfasts, we will be having eggs, which this is actually a pretty good idea. I went out camping with a friend once, and I looked up a video, and they were like, oh, put eggs inside of a water bottle. I was like, that's a good idea. And I told him about that, but he did not. So he brought out eggs in eggshells, and then they broke and made a mess. So what we did here, we just got a Gatorade bottle, and it has a bigger hole in it, and you can actually crack your eggs and put them inside of a measuring cup. So it has a little spout on it, and then you can just pour them right in there one at a time. That way they're ready to go, they're convenient, and they're not going to break on you. So we're having that for breakfast. These English muffins as well.
What would you like to say to the camera, Zuko?
And we're going to be having some delicious Country Crock plant butter, which if you've never had this, it's very good, and it's actually plant-based.
Now, the plant butter, that's going to be your cooking oil and your butter for all of this, right?
Yes.
So, one thing to cover basically the whole table's worth of food.
Yeah, because we're going to need quite a lot. And then we're having bacon as well for breakfast.
Bacon.
Yes. And all of our meats are frozen and put into these freeze-wrapped bags. That way they'll stay fresh.
Vacuum sealed.
Vacuum sealed.
Yeah. So in this container, he's got all his meats that he's taking. So you've got burgers in here, pork chops, T-bone steak, and and you've got sausages too. You've got some bratwurst sausages as well.
Yes. So we also have to think about snacks as well. So we have our apples. We have some bars. And we have onions. Those are good snacks. And some carrots and...
Now, he won't be taking the carrots and celery in these jars. It's just the best way to keep them crisp until he's ready to go. So before he actually leaves, then we will go ahead and put those in Ziploc bags for him to take.
Yeah. And on those, we will be having peanut butter. And this is in a squeezy thing, so it'll make it much easier and convenient.
And you've got some oatmeal packs here for breakfast as well.
Oatmeal for breakfast. And we've got our potatoes.
Some of these are foil wrapped because he's going to put them into the fire, right?
Into the hot ashes. You put your potato into the ashes for maybe like 30 minutes, and it'll be just like a baked potato. It'll be delicious.
And then these ones that aren't wrapped, he's going to he'll put those in foil too, but he's going to cut these ones into fries and put some of this plant butter on there and some of his seasonings that he's taking, which is garlic pepper seasoning mix and then salt and pepper.
Yeah. And we have our onions and peppers. I know this is kind of all over the place, but I don't really have this planned out in my head. But we will be cutting up our onions and peppers, having those with our bratwurst and our buns for one of our meals. We will be having hamburgers for one of our meals. So we have our hamburgers, we have our cheese, and we have our buns, and we're gonna get some condiment packets, but we don't really have much else on them because we're out in the wilderness. You don't really need that much.
And then for your pork chops, you got some beans here.
Some beans, and for those, I'm going to use a can opener and open up the lid and just put them right on the hot ashes, and it'll warm them up, and that'll be good as any oven or stove will do.
Okay.
And my wife said we have T-bone steaks, and we will be having rice with those?
No, that's for your
Oh, we'll
pork
be
as
having
well.
baked
You're
potatoes
gonna-
with the T-bone steaks.
Yeah. And then what were you gonna do with the apples to make a yummy dessert out of those?
So with the apples, what we had in mind was to take an apple, slice it, put some tin foil around it, and then we have a cinnamon and sugar mix right here that we're going to put on them, fold them up, and put them in the ashes for maybe like 15 to 20 minutes, and then when they come out, they'll be delicious baked apples, and that will be very good for dessert. And then we
And I
have
mentioned that he could put some granola on them too to make them give them a little bit of crunch and a little extra tastiness.
that'll be good too. And then also for dessert, we have the classic s'mores. So we've
Gotta
got our
have
graham
s'mores.
crackers, our mushrooms, and our chocolate. And then we also have these roll thingies, which we will be putting on the cast iron griddle, which I am bringing to cook over the fire, because if you ever cooked over a fire, it takes a lot of doing, and it's easier if you have something to cook on. So that is everything we will be taking on this camping trip, and hopefully you get to see a little bit of that, and it'll be a really fun trip. So thank you for watching today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and happy camping.